Okay, Cara Jones, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at your first attempt at some traditional portrait drawing, and you'll remember that the success criteria were that you needed to have accurate proportion and positioning of facial features. We can see that, well, before we go into it, just a little reminder that proportion is the size of the size of anything in relation to something else. So the proportion of the eyes here is good because they're roughly the same size as one another, and you would be able to get maybe 5 eyes across the width of the head, which is correct. You might have drawn the eyes really perfectly and got all the details right, but if they were too big, it would be out of proportion. Okay, but let's start on positioning. You've drawn the grid dividing the head vertically into quarters and horizontally into 2 halves, and I think that's helped you to position the facial features really well, and you've positioned them really accurately, and there's very little in terms of alterations that I would make in terms of positioning, so very well done on that score. What you might want to do is the refinement that I would suggest as your kind of main area for improvement is going to be your use of tone. And actually, use of tone is something that we're going to come on to later in the project, but in this instance I would darken down some of these really dark areas of this darker shaded part of the chin, just so you get that nice contrast and you can really pick out some areas of the face, and that's going to be your target for improvement on this piece. But I think as a first attempt at what is a difficult task of traditional portrait drawing, you've done it brilliantly. Well done.